Hey everyone, welcome back to another New World video. I hope that everybody is having an absolutely fantastic day. And in today's video, I do want to go over another money-making guide. Now, it is a little bit later here in New World, so are you going to make absolutely thousands of dollars doing this just only one time? Probably not. It all depends on how much hard work and energy, determination, and honestly, just how much are you really going to put into it will generate how much the results will actually be. So I've actually used this quite a bit in the past. Now, obviously, since the server has gotten older, the prices have significantly decreased over time. This money-making opportunity, just like all the other ones, has dropped significantly. Now, obviously, you guys can go after, the more rare items like stacked decks or loaded dice, or still even go after the void, or as a lot of that stuff is still selling for a pretty good amount of money. However, it's a lot more random, whereas with this method, you guys are guaranteed to always get what we're going to be looking at specifically every single time you guys go to that location. The only people that you have to actually deal with is other players that might be in the same area, kind of doing the same thing that you guys might be doing. And that's like most locations, because even if you're going after void ore, you're still competing with orichalcum ores or just other people that are going after those nodes so that they can try to get the void ore, the same thing that you guys are looking for. It's regardless of what situation you guys are going to be doing. That's just how money-making method works on MMOs. So anyway, let's just go ahead and dive right into it. Now, I did check the market just a little bit ago before coming on here, and I wanted to make sure that this is still a viable method of doing this, because the last time I sold some of the stuff was actually yesterday, and we're going to be specifically focusing on hemp. Now, in the other areas that I've been showcasing lately, there are a lot of different things that you guys can actually find there. We're going to find herbs. We're also going to find a lot of silkweed. We can actually find wire fiber and things like that, and you guys can take advantage of all these different things that are going on and hopefully make some money. So whether it's going to be from the herbs themselves that you guys are actually going to be finding in that area that you can sell for a little bit of extra cash, or if you don't necessarily want to use this as a money-making method, you can definitely use this to get up your weaving up to that 200, so you can eventually make that Phoenix weave, which is still selling for a decent amount of money on this server, and I'll show you guys what it's actually valued at. And I do play on a popular server, so if the prices are at least stable on my server, I hope that they're okay for you guys. So I just don't believe it when everybody says, well, it's only a penny. Not everything can be only a penny on every server, and it seems like what we're going to be focusing on today, specifically looking at silk, that mid-range item almost on everything, seems to be where you guys can spend a little bit of extra time at right now. So silk is where we're going to be focusing on this video. If you guys want to check out some of my other videos, I definitely go ahead and showcase that. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at the market. We're going to be dealing with hemp, so specifically fibers. Now, obviously, you can sell these on their own. The cheapest here at Everfall is 27 cents, and I know that's actually not the cheapest on the server. Again, I looked a little bit ago. 22 cents. Let's see. Actually, I think it was down to 10 cents if we sort it here by price. 10 cents down in Cutlass Keys, and there's actually quite a people listing them for 10 cents. So is this fibers on their own 10 cents a piece? Is that a good method? Probably not. But you can convert it into linen, and you can actually make at the cheapest 30 cents. So that's a little bit less than what you're going to be getting it for just the fibers alone, because it makes 4 fibers to make 1 linen. And then obviously from there we can go into sateen, and obviously you're going to need some of the refining agents to actually go ahead and make this, like the weak solvent or whatever other ones that you guys have. But this is selling for an okay amount of money. But the big jump is actually into silk. So silk itself is actually selling for a decent amount, more than 4 times than what sateen is actually selling for. And then it's actually almost the same price as infused silk, which is actually crazy in my opinion. So that's where I'm kind of saying those mid-tier items, and even things that I've discovered in some of my other videos, seem to be very, very popular right now. So if you spend that little bit of extra time and just kind of working on the middle items, you might find a good area opportunity to actually make some money on whatever server that you guys are playing on. So $3, almost $4 per silk that you guys are going to be making. So you guys can find literally thousands upon thousands of hemp. There's going to be a lot of silkweed up there, so you can easily convert that from the sateen into silk pretty easily. And then if you guys want to take it even that much further, there you can either buy the wire fiber, or you can actually find a couple wire fiber in the area that you guys can actually go ahead and work with. So that's just kind of like the money side of things that I just wanted to be able to show it to you guys with. Now, I do recommend that if you guys are going to be doing any type of gathering or mining or whatever it might be, so in this case, we're going to be doing harvesting, I recommend that you guys have some good harvesting gear like on you. So here we've got 4.2. I have my amulet, which I think is actually already on me for 8.2. You can do other things too. You can have luck on your bags. You can make sure that your sickle has certain things, like I have a yield, so actually I'll get more product, or more resources in general, so 17% more. And then I can actually have harvesting luck at 7.7, and this could be improved a little bit with a little bit better gear score as well. So just keep that in mind if you might have to upgrade your orichalcum, or maybe your steel. Maybe you're still at steel and you haven't upgraded to star metal. Maybe this is the time to actually really consider doing that. But the area that we're going to be specifically focusing on is actually in a little bit higher zone. And there's two zones that you're going to be able to go into. I'm going to show you guys here that in just a moment. That I recommend that if you are a lower level, you'd highly stick to only one of the areas, just because there's very little mobs that you got to deal with, or just enemies in general. Pretty much the only thing you have to deal with is bison in the area. And if you're really low level, they can hit really, really hard, and they could kill you in just a couple shots because they like to just run you over and knock you over. But if you're a higher level, then by all means, go wherever you want, do whatever you want. It's your account. Even if you are a low level, do what you want. It's play the way that you want to, and just kind of go with that. So let's go ahead and kind of move on to the location right now. All right, so this is the area that we're going to be mostly focusing on. So this is Restless Shores, and this is that little area that kind of jets out a little bit. This is where we're going to be focusing at, and then part of it actually does go up into Morningdale. So if you guys are going to be going into this route, just know that as soon as you cross this river, there's a lot of links on basically the east side of the river. So if you're going to go over into that territory, you've been warned, especially if you are a lower level character. The only other places that you really have to deal with anything is like right in this location right here, and that is actually going to be wolves. So I'm going to zoom in here in just a little bit. I just wanted to be able to showcase where that's at. We have the shrine right here. You have the depths, which is going to be right here. So hopefully this gives you a general area or idea of where we're at. So Weaver's Fen is right there. You have Morningdale right here and whatnot. So let's go ahead and zoom in a little bit. All right, so this is the zoomed in area right here. What I like to do is actually either go to Morningdale, which I have my home there, and then run down, or you guys can actually just go to this shrine right here. So if you come in from the shrine, there's actually herbs right here. And again, you guys can get a variety of different things in this area. I can't remember what they are off the top of my head. I believe it is thyme, oregano, mint in this area. And you can gather that. There's a lot of hemp just right here, and a little bit of silkweed as well. Then what I do is I usually come down to this location. Every once in a while, I'll grab this batch. So it really just depends on how much you really want. And then the rest of my time, I actually don't usually come past right about here. So, and I'll show you that. So I come down here, gather all this, kind of zigzag back, and then work my way back and forth here. So what I do is I come up the hill here. Again, stay out of this area because this is a wolf zone, and they are level 40 wolves. So just be careful. As long as you kind of come up by these rocks right here, then you should be okay. There are some ghosts right in this area. So as long as you kind of walk down the middle of it and then hug the rocks going into this location, if you're a low level character, then you should have no problem dealing with this. And then once you kind of get back into like this area right here, this is where the bison are going to be at. But if you're kind of just working right here and even down in this area, you really shouldn't have to worry about any bison at all. And then you have Angry Earth. There's a bridge right here at the very bottom of your screen, right next to the shrine. If you get a little bit too close to that, then they'll actually aggro on you. But if you're higher level, then you don't have to worry about it. What I usually spend most of my time at is actually back in this area right here, because less people are actually knowing about this location. And then if you come back into the very back here, this is a the skeleton area, the ancients, and you guys can actually go ahead and grab some wire fiber right there, and it is guarded by a gator, so you can kill it. And then as long as you have pretty good skill at being able to harvest this relatively quickly and a good sickle, then you should be able to harvest all of that before the alligator actually goes ahead and respawns. Otherwise, if you don't, then it will take a little bit of time and the alligator might respawn by the time you're actually finished. So what I do is I run back here, kind of zigzag, and then I zigzag back and forth, make my way back here. And then what I do is I cross the river, grab all this, grab all this way, kind of come up this way here, all the way up to the road. The ancients don't really ever bother me. And then I come back down this way, I cross the river, grab all of this, and then I kind of cross the river here, and I kind of just stay in this, and I kind of go in this big circle right in this location. But there's plenty more, because this is where I usually see a lot more other people. Only a couple people cross the river. So when I was actually gathering the other day, as an example, there was like 7 people over here, but only like 3 people were over in this area. And what's nice about this hep area is by the time you make one good circle, even if you do cross the river or don't cross the river, the hemp is always regrowing. Because even when other people are in the area, they're not going to stick around and wait for an entire patch to just grow. So they're going to go ahead and leave it. And by the time they leave, by the time you get there, there's typically at least something that you guys can go ahead and harvest. I think I spent about an hour and a half harvesting this area. And I think I gathered almost 10,000 total between fibers and silk weed or silk threads and also the wire fiber in this area in about an hour and a half with competition. So if I can do it, then you guys definitely can as well. But also keep in mind that I do get almost 20% more of the resources because of the sickle that I am currently using. But hopefully this video does help you guys out, and if it does, make sure that you guys go and like, comment, and subscribe down below. It would help me out a lot and is greatly appreciated. But till next time, YouTube, you guys keep doing what you're doing because you're already doing it, and you guys stay gaming.